The Magic Mirror. Once upon a time, in a distant kingdom nestled between towering mountains and lush green valleys, there stood a grand palace made of crystal and gold. This was the kingdom of Eldoria, ruled by the kind and just King Alden and his gentle-hearted Queen Seraphina. The people of Eldoria were happy, for their rulers were wise, and the land was blessed with peace and prosperity. In this kingdom lived a beautiful young princess named Isabella. She was known far and wide for her kindness, wisdom, and radiant smile. Despite being surrounded by luxury, Isabella was humble and always cared for the people of her kingdom. She spent her days helping the poor, learning about the world, and painting breathtaking landscapes inspired by the beauty of Eldoria. One day, on her 16th birthday, King Alden gifted Isabella a magnificent mirror unlike any other. It was framed with intricate golden carvings of stars and roses, and in the center of the frame sat a dazzling blue gem that glowed softly. "This is the magic mirror of Eldoria," the king said. "It has been passed down through generations. It shows not only the reflection of a person's face but also their true heart." Intrigued, Isabella gazed into the mirror. At first, she saw her own face staring back at her. But then, the reflection changed. The mirror shimmered, and Isabella saw a glowing light around her heart, signifying her pure and kind nature. She smiled, knowing that she always strove to do good. However, news of the magic mirror spread beyond Eldoria, reaching the ears of an envious sorceress named Morgana. Morgana lived in the dark woods, a cursed place where no sunlight reached. She had once been a powerful enchantress in the king's court but had been banished for using dark magic to harm others. Her heart was filled with jealousy, and she longed for power and beauty. "The magic mirror must be mine," she hissed. "With it, I shall become the most powerful and beloved woman in the world." That night, under the cover of darkness, Morgana disguised herself as an old beggar woman and traveled to the palace. She stood outside the gates, crying for help. Kind-hearted as always, Princess Isabella rushed outside and offered her food and shelter. As Isabella led the old woman into the castle, Morgana suddenly threw a handful of enchanted dust into the air. A swirling mist surrounded them, and Isabella fell unconscious. When she awoke, she found herself trapped inside a cold, dark tower, deep in the heart of the dark woods. The magic mirror was gone. Morgana had taken it back to her lair, eager to test its power. She looked into the mirror, expecting to see herself as the most beautiful and powerful sorceress in the world. But to her horror, the mirror showed a different image. It revealed her true self, a woman corrupted by greed and darkness. Instead of the beauty she desired, she saw a face twisted by malice, her eyes filled with bitterness. The sight enraged her. "This mirror lies!" She shrieked, attempting to shatter it with a spell. But the mirror was protected by ancient magic and could not be destroyed. Furious, Morgana locked it away in a chest, determined to find a way to change her reflection. Meanwhile, back in Eldoria, the kingdom was in turmoil. The princess was missing, and the people were heartbroken. King Alden and Queen Seraphina sent their bravest knights to search for Isabella, but no one dared venture into the dark woods, fearing Morgana's wrath. Unbeknownst to them, Isabella had not lost hope. Though imprisoned, she discovered that her cell was guarded by a young boy named Finn, who had been forced into Morgana's service. Finn was kind-hearted and, upon hearing Isabella's plight, decided to help her. "There is an old legend," Finn whispered one night. "The magic mirror can only be wielded by someone with a pure heart. That is why Morgana cannot change her reflection. If we retrieve it and you look into it once more, it might show us a way to defeat her." Determined to reclaim what was rightfully hers, Isabella devised a plan with Finn. Under the cover of darkness, they sneaked into Morgana's chamber and retrieved the mirror. But as soon as Isabella held it in her hands, the mirror shimmered, revealing a vision and image of Morgana as she once was, a beautiful woman filled with kindness and joy, long before darkness took hold of her. Understanding the message, Isabella turned to Morgana, who had just entered the chamber, furious at the intrusion. "Morgana," Isabella said gently, "this mirror does not lie. It shows the truth of our hearts. Once, you were kind and loved. The mirror shows that part of you still exists. You do not need dark magic to be powerful, you only need to remember the goodness within you." For the first time in years, Morgana hesitated. Her cruel facade wavered as she gazed into the mirror, seeing her past self. Tears filled her eyes. She had been consumed by jealousy and ambition for so long that she had forgotten the warmth of love and kindness. At that moment, Morgana made a choice. She broke the spell on Isabella, allowing her to return to Eldoria. She then turned to Finn and freed him from her service. As the first rays of sunlight touched the dark woods in years, Morgana vowed to change. She would no longer use dark magic but instead seek redemption for her past misdeeds. Princess Isabella returned home to great celebration. The kingdom rejoiced at her return, and the tale of the magic mirror became legend. From that day on, the mirror was not just a relic of the past but a reminder that true beauty lies within, and even the darkest hearts can find their way back to the light. And so, Eldoria remained a land of peace and love, where kindness and wisdom ruled, and the magic mirror continued to reflect the true nature of those who dared to gaze into it.